Magic the Gathering is a very complex game with a lot of different things you can do and hundreds upon hundreds of different combinations you can make for with even just one commander. And today, I have two decks that can contend with one of the world's best AI model, ChatGPT. We're going to see if ChatGPT can understand how to at least moderately correctly play these decks as they were built to be played, or if it's just going to fall flat and fail to understand what a complicated game this truly is. So, first things first, we have the two decks here, and let's go over them a little bit. This is Sanar, the Unfinished Genius. These are both decks that I have in complete physical copies to the point where I even went through and changed some of the aesthetics of these just to match the cards that I actually owned. But that's not exactly important because Sanar the Unfinished Genius is something all about casting instants and sorceries, where my instants and sorceries all to create treasure tokens, and of course we can pull out one instant or sorcery from our library each time that it is prepared. So this is going to go a relatively simple gameplay loop. Now none of these are built to perfection, none of these are built amazingly, but they are built just enough to have a very clear mechanic involved. Like here, we're making treasure tokens with this deck, but we're not really going into this wild idea area as much as some other decks may. So we're gonna see if ChatGPT can pick up on that. I doubt it will, but we'll see. Here we have the Silver Quill, the Disputant, deck, including Vampiric Tutor, which is, of course, worth a little bit of money. I pulled this from a pack. I'm very proud of it. Thank you for letting me brag here for a moment. But this one's a lot different. This is about, of course, doubling instants and sorceries whenever I sacrifice a creature. And to do so, I, of course, got Hop to It. The whole idea of the deck is to get Hop to It, cast Hop to It, double the cast, so that this will create six 1/1 white rabbit tokens. Sacrifice one of those 1/1 white rabbit tokens. To oh wait, we got the six 1/1 white tokens. I got a little out of order there. We cast Zombify to get back Hop to It, and then once again the cycle repeats where we'll cast this, sacrificing one of these, ending up with 11. It goes back, and if at all we can get Zombify out of the graveyard, then we can do something like that. Wait, that says creature card. Guys, the build might not be the best it could be. um, but the basic idea is cast Hop to It, double Hop to It, get Hop to It back as much as humanly possible. Of course, the original creature we sacrifice to gain a double cast of Hop to It can be brought back with Zombify. But we have a lot of ones, of a lot of very interesting ones, and the one I was thinking of, where is it? Where is it? I do actually have something that will do that. Is it Feed the Swarm? No, no. It's Pull from Grave. Here it is. Return to. Oh, it is creature cards again. Do I not have any? Did I build this deck completely wrong? It doesn't matter. This is just all the cards I kind of have pulled from the deck, from the Strixhaven pack I got. So it's not, both of these are, along with a precon that I kind of cannibalized into them. But they've all ended up as semi-decent builds, but none of them are good, and I hope ChatGPT over here can pick up on the fact that these are, in fact, pretty bad commander decks. So what we're going to do here, we're going to export the deck as a text file, all cards, and we're just going to copy this. And we're just going to say, hey, rate my, my deck based on synergy and style. Make sure to give playstyle tips and rank the deck in a bracket. Let me just make sure that I explicitly state that it is a commander deck. Now, I did something like this a while ago for this thing called Failing Forward, my first ever channel. We did something called Exploring AI. It's very similar to this, where we just kind of make AI do some silly things and see how bad, or in some cases, how good it performs. Okay, so we have the deck list here. Your deck, Prisoner Style, EZ Spellslinger. Okay, so first of all, EZ Spellslinger, is that even in the deck? Um, um, immediately, it doesn't mention our commander. Yeah, where is EZ Spellslinger even in here? What? Because that sounds like a card. I feel like I recognize that as a card. But it doesn't seem to be a card here. Here, let's look through the complete alphabetized list. Okay, it does understand what my commander is. A magecraft mid-range to casual store. Okay, so first of all, if you didn't already see here, the architect already gives us an estimated bracket, which is of course here, bracket 2. So we're gonna see if they get to understand that. Spell copying value to explosive big turn sequencing. I can get that. I've played this deck a couple of times. I could see that. Non-creature spell leveraging both tempo and spectacle. Overall rating synergy 8 out of 10. Cheap interaction, draw filtering, payoff creatures, mana burst. Cards like okay. It doesn't mention one of the main. Oh wait, this is wrong deck. Sorry. No, this it does kind of mention some of the main ones. I was thinking about the Silver Quill, the Disputant one. Sea of Spoils. Yeah. Cast lot. Okay, so power level. This. Okay, this isn't a power level scale. This just isn't a power level scale. We love to see it. We love to see it. Strong casual mid. Optimized precon plus range. Focus but fair. You're not on CEDH terror. No shit. Nowhere close. Mana base is relatively slow. I mean, we're creating a lot of treasure tokens. No limited tutors, of course, of course. Um, bracket. Bracket 3. Bracket 3. Now, I've seen two different bracket ratings for this deck on two different sites. One ranked it at bracket 1, the other one ranked it at bracket 2. Now ChatGPT is trying to rank it at bracket 3. Which, in play, I've played this deck, I think, only once, maybe, and it performed decently well. I've played this deck like 3 or 4 times, and I do genuinely think that this deck, while being rated in a lower bracket, functions better than this one. Mostly because I haven't been able to get any synergies going in it. But I do think in my heart of hearts that that is the case. Use a modern 1 to 5 ish. So, what do you mean ish? Social bracket philosophy. Uh, increment damage pressure. Gutter snipe. Thermal alchemist. Expressive fire dancer. Um, yes. I mean they're not wrong there. I mean this is just damage though. Whenever you cast this is a pretty essential one. I need to actually play this deck more. I'll probably bring it in tomorrow. See what it'll do. But yeah, I do think Gutter Snipe is like one of the best things in here because we're built around casting instant and sorcery spells, and if we can cast more of them with Gutter Snipe specifically, we kind of win. Of course, this deck is unoptimized heavily. We would want to protect Gutter Snipe maybe a little bit, maybe protect Sanar, but he's pretty easy to cast, so. I mean, every spell advances your board state. That's important because spell shifts often do nothing. Burst turns, your strongest turn probably includes mana generation, looting, the heck? Copying spells, chaining cantrips, less value spells. Mana guys are big sport. Wild Rocket, Coveted Jewel. These create. Okay. Weakness. Creature dependence. Ironically, your Spellslinger deck is heavy. Yeah, Gutter Snipe. Thermal Alchemist is not all that, okay? Payout. Yeah. It does. I mean, that's kind of how this game works. I'm not sure if ChatGPT knows, but that is how the game. Do not deploy your payout. Yeah, no, no, really. It's kind of giving us very obvious advice. Yeah. Limited closing power. Attrition. Yeah. I don't. I don't end the game now. That's kind of the point. Ramp, sculpt hand, avoid becoming I mean what ChatGPT doesn't understand is that often in my pod I don't get like this is where we end. This is where somebody comes up with the infinite mana combo and 1-2 punches my ass. Then again, we're not playing on very even playing fields, so you know, take that with many grains of salt. Uh, yeah. No, there are no that I remember from this deck. There are no spell copy effects. Like there are a couple. Um, yeah, that I know of. There's just no spell copy. There. I mean, Wild Ricochet. There is. That is a copy. But other than that, I don't know much that'll do that. This one is nice stock up though. I do gotta say. I do gotta say if I do say so myself. Late game, you become a political threat. Opponents are resource depleted. Board states are cluttered. Players tap out. Cards like Wild Ricochet and Return the Flavor. Brash Taunter. That's not hidden. That was the MVP of the precon I bought, so I just put him in here. Blasphemous Act is a good one. Mana Geyser, probably your strongest single. I do forget what Mana Geyser does. Cause I kind of just threw it in there. Mana Geyser was like, nah. Oh yeah, that is kind of a lot of ramp. I forget exactly one. Allow multiplayer value engine by graveyards getting stacked naturally. Suggest improvements if you want more power. Add cheap cantrips like those. Oh, I'd want to do real finishers. I don't really see us needing a finisher with this deck. Upgrade mana base. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, this deck has problems. ChatGPT is giving it way too much credit. Way too much credit. You know what it does consistently? Mana generation. What do you mean they're grading it on fun factor? Oh my god. Okay, let's see if it does any better with this. Could you judge this one under the same parameters? I don't really care about spelling that correctly. Let's just make sure calling that yeah, this is the right deck. I care about it. I care about it. I said I didn't. This one is very yeah, no shit. Where the first deck was explosive flashy, this one is a grindy attrition, reanimation, control deck with political edge. Your commander self-equal the disputant pushes the deck into a very classic. What is those words? Like, okay, it might be a real term. I don't see why ChatGPT is using it. Sacrifice life value, recursion, removal, heavy control, incremental. Yeah, table. The deck is slower, meaner, and more resilient than your first. It is slower. I'll give it that. I'll give it that. It is much slower. Overall rating 8.5 out of 10. This deck is more internally cohesive than the Prismary one. Almost everything contributes to grinding resources, creature recursion, attrition, death value, controlling the board, leveraging graveyards. The recursion shell is strong, zombified dredge of the mire, Rashaka, spectral primordial, helping hand. I pronounced that so wrong. Um, Power level. This feels stronger than your first deck. Why? I don't care actually. Because attrition decks scale extremely well in multiplayer when built correctly. It does. I do give it that. This deck scales with the more players I have if I can use the higher spells. Problem is when there are more players, trying to shut it down. Efficient removal, recursion, tutoring, sweepers, inevitability, card advantage. The presence of vampiric tutoring calling the weak raises the ceiling notably. Yeah. Uh uh-huh. Uh-huh. I know for a fact I'm not there yet. That's not the point. Commander bracket placement. 3.5 to 4. Okay. See, this ChatGPT is almost consistently ranking us about one above what everything else is ranking us. Because this one was ranked one on one site, two on this site, and three by ChatGPT. This one was ranked three by both of the sites I checked it on, and then, of course, a 3.5 to 4 by ChatGPT, which, for one, 3.5 isn't real. It's you are either a 3 deck or you are a 4 deck, and there are very basic parameters that are that. It's not like a oh it kind of feels like it's no it is or it is not, and there is no in between. But I mean I might just be going a little crazy here. But let's go back. Compared to your first deck, this one recovers better, interacts harder, pressures resources more effectively, has stronger inevitability. You're much more likely to become arch enemy with this deck. Never have, actually. Actually, my board state's always worse on this deck than it is with the one time I played this other deck, but okay. What the deck does well. Excellent grind game. This deck is built to survive long games. That's Orzov's biggest strength, and you lean into it properly. You remove threats efficiently while slowly accumulating value through recursion, death triggers, graveyard access, and attrition effects. A lot of casual commander tables struggle against decks that keep rebuilding. Now, see, I finally went into my actual ChatGPT voice. I'm sorry I wasn't doing that earlier. That's a little bit of fun I like to have with this bot. High removal density. Your interaction package is excellent. You have target creature kill, enchantment removal, graveyard hate. What the hell does that even mean? Graveyard hate? What? Uh, I mean, I can exile people's graveyard. Sacrifice effects. Sweepers. Cards like Feed the Storm, Soul Shatter, Deadly Tempest, and Profane Command give you answers to almost everything. That flexibility matters a lot in multiplayer. Number 3, graveyard leverage. Your deck doesn't just recur your own stuff, it steals value from everyone. That is actually a good point it makes here, because I can kind of steal some shit. That's a little goofy. That's huge. Primordial is especially nasty in longer games. You benefit from opponents fighting each other. That's a hallmark of good multiplayer design. Weakness. Mana base is still slow. Not really. Like the first deck, the land base is probably the biggest limiter. Now, see, I disagree with this because I have mana, I need card draw. That's what I need with a deck like this, from personal experience. You have many basics, limited fixing, modest ramp. Orsov especially wants reliable mana because many turns require double spelling, reactive gameplay needs flexibility. Number 2, limited explosiveness. This deck is powerful, but not fast. Sometimes faster decks may establish engines first, combo before your grind matters, or overwhelm you early. You're much stronger after turn 6 than before. Why specifically turn 6? Potential threat perception problem. This deck looks scary once recursion starts. The moment players see reanimation, graveyard theft, repeated removal, They often unite against you. That's something Orzhov pivots must manage politically. Playstyle tips. Early game turns 1 to 4. Your priorities. Develop mana. Establish card flow. Again, this is the actual problem, and ChatGPT has not addressed it. Avoid overcommitting. Stock graveyards. You generally want to appear fair early. Avoid tutoring aggressively too soon. Firing premium removal at medium threats. Becoming the table police immediately. Let faster decks pressure each other first. Mid-game, turns 5 through 8. This is your control pivot. You want graveyard setup online. Commander protected. Recursion engines active. Selective removal. This is when you begin dictating pace. A major skill with this deck, don't answer anything. Only answer threats to you, combo enablers, or game ending engines. If you spend removal protecting weaker players, you'll lose resources first. Late game, this is where your deck becomes oppressive. Your ideal board state, multiple graveyard stock, recursion on lines, opponents top decking. You reusing value creatures repeatedly. Okay, now I haven't seen one mention of the actual MVP of. I mean, Songromancer, they do a good job of pointing that one out. But the true MVP here is Hop to It, and I will stand by that to my grave because it will literally let us cast 5 spells. Just 5. Well, 6. Well, technically, it'll allow us to cast 3 spells doubled. Or we could double that spell and, cast 6 spells doubled. Or, fucking. Oh, it's Grave Researcher! No, that's creatures again. All of them are creatures, okay? I could swear they weren't creatures when I was building this, but that's fine. I can get my creatures back though, which is really nice. Culling the Weak. This card is very strong here. That's the one that gives me just like infinite mana. Yeah. And sacrifice a creature and like fucking. And again, I'll have creatures to sacrifice because of Hop to It, but they're just ignoring Hop to It. This deck is kind of built around Hop to It. This card is very strong here. It enables early bombs, explosive reanimation turns, surprise tempo swings. In casual pods, people often underestimate how dangerous this card is. Cyromancer. Quietly excellent in multiplayer with removal, sacrifice, combat death. This gains absurd life over time. It's just reiterating the same kind of bullshit point that just reanimate creatures from your graveyard and you'll be fine, which is kind of the build. But not entirely. It's to create tokens to use as sacrifice fodder to double my spells if I need to. Suggested improvements. Add one repeatable. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, add more. But, like, that's the fucking. Oh, wrong deck. That's the point of Hop to It. I have that. I have that. I have Hop to It. That's the whole point of Hop to It. He's hopping to it. Alright? I don't know if there's any way in this deck to actually get Hop to It back. Um, but there's supposed to be. I thought there was. Um, yeah, that's more creatures from my graveyard. I have a shit ton of recursion though, which is kind of nice. Yeah, yeah, more sacrifice outlet, more graveyards set up. One true wind engine. All right, comparison to your first deck. Speed. This one's faster and this one's slower. Resilience, medium, that one's high. Interaction, that's one medium, that one high. Politics, medium, high. Recovery after wipe, weak, strong. Explosive turns, high, medium. Long game, medium, excellent. Threat perception, moderate, high. The Prismari deck is more theatrical and combo feeling. This deck is more methodical and oppressive over time. But there's no way. I forgot they added this because I never used ChatGPT. I did see like some news that they're adding ads to ChatGPT, but I didn't think it was real. I didn't think it was real, but here they are. That's crazy. But yeah, all in all, I think ChatGPT was a little more intelligent than I was expecting, but not by much. It did kind of give me a little bit of extra like ideas for the deck. It gave me a little bit of insight into things I didn't already know. I will admit that. But honestly, all of these, like anything you'll get from a site like Architect, or almost any other site is way more valuable because while yes, I will give ChatGPT some credit, there are some genuinely decent things in here. I think it's worth putting in the trash because there is so much bad advice that the good advice is just kind of drowned out. So with that, that has been testing ChatGPT on how Magic the Gathering works, and surprise, surprise, I think it failed.